Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about the Chinese drama 卿卿日常, New Life Begins. This is a 40 episodes web drama that's being aired on the platform iQIYI. It is produced by iQIYI plus Xinli. Xinli is one of the major players in Chinese drama productions these days. They have made many well-known projects in the last couple of years. As for this drama, 卿卿日常, it is based on a novel written by the web novel writer 多木木多, and the original novel's title was 清川日常, literally meaning spirited to Qing Dynasty's daily life. Very similar to Scarlet Heart's type of setup. When this project was first announced, it clearly told everybody it is an adaptation of that web novel called 清川日常. Then they changed it to 新川日常. Then they changed it to the current version, 卿卿日常. If you happen to be very confused about the Chinese title, don't worry, because not even Chinese people understand why this is going on. In comparison to its original novel, the current version of drama you're looking at is 99% different from its original story. The drama is directed by Zhao Qichen, written by 3 different credited scriptwriters, and led by Bai Jingting and Tian Xiwei. It was shot mostly in the very famous Chinese period drama studio that every drama goes to, Hengdian, from last year December to March this year. As I'm making this first impression video, I've watched the first 12 episodes. Before I've watched 11 and 12, I'll give it a 1 gold mine. But after I've actually watched 11 and 12, I think I can pull the rating up a little bit to at least 1.5 gold mine. Now, let me quickly introduce you to the story, and then we're gonna go into the usual part, good and bad. In this drama version, you have a fictional kingdom that's really made up with 9 different smaller kingdoms. One of them is the so-called leader of the others. More like the more ancient Chinese version, where you do recognize there is a one ruler situation, but then in individual kingdoms, the individual kings have a lot of says in how they run their own countries, and there's always a power struggle between the so-called main leader and the other little kings. Our male character, played by Bai Jingting, is one of the many sons of this leader kingdom's ruler, and the kind of least favored and not really being paid a lot of attention to as he grows up, and not born out of the official wife of the ruler son. And our female lead, played by Tian Xiwei, comes from a very common background in another smaller kingdom. Every how many years there's a rule of different kingdoms would submit girls to the main kingdom to be selected as wives or concubines of the ruling kingdom's rulers. Different sons. I hope that makes sense for you. Think about basically Hunger Game. Okay, all the people from different districts got selected and put into capital. Only that they're not here to fight off each other and kill off each other, but to marry. We'll see how our main male lead and female lead get together, work together. I'm pretty sure the male lead in the end is gonna get to the top of the whole thing. Otherwise, why do you bother picking him as the lead character? Now, let me talk about what is good about this drama, unique about this drama, worth watching about this drama. Number 1, very superficial observation is, as a period drama, this drama is visually very acceptable to me when it considers this genre. Comedy, romantic, fictional, slightly oriented towards the idol end of things, but not so much type of period drama. Thinking about a couple of dramas we've had in recent years where the looks really repel people, whether it's the color grading or lighting, things just doesn't look right, and I'll use these 2 dramas as examples. If you've watched them, you'll know what I mean. In comparison, this drama's visual is much more pleasing. You can tell first is they did do a lot of work for different residents, settings, props, costumes, different people's colors, styles, their hair, I mean, really good wigs. Although it is not the high-end aesthetics of things looking super artistic, coherent, and super designed or super high-flying style period drama, but it's better than a lot of very cheaply made, terribly lit, horrendously color graded Chinese period dramas. Xinli, in its previous couple of productions, is often complained about by people because of its choices of colors. How they decide to grade the works often are not so ideal. For this one, they just suddenly realized that they could do it differently and people probably will like it more. Number 2, I really highly appreciate, and I think it adds so much to my enjoyment of watching the drama, is everyone used their own voice. And I think 90% of it is live recording on set. All the noises, all the clothes rustling, the spatial quality, and the actors in the moment voice quality gets captured and kept. It just makes the story feel so much more textured. And for period dramas shot in Hengdian, it's actually not easy to do that due to usually you have a lot of noise interferences. I really like hearing Bai Jingting's real voice, Tian Xiwei's real voice. I think she always got dubbed previously in other period dramas, and I couldn't quite get her with her dubbed voice. She often gets dubbed with a very sweet, very girly voice, whereas actually her own voice is not so much like that. I much prefer her real voice. You have to watch it alongside another drama, probably They Lead, that have them got dubbed side by side, and you immediately see the difference. Number 3, the great thing about this drama is it is a very 下饭 drama. It's your eating company. This is something you can unwind to at the end of the day. This is something that you turn on to have a very light-hearted laugh. And even when it's something that's serious, it takes a very light-toned, pushing it to the comedy angle perspective. Some of the jokes are quite cold and they do write on the language and your understanding of it. If you are not a Chinese native, you don't understand Mandarin, maybe some of the jokes you wouldn't quite get it, but overall it's a very happy drama. If you need that dosage of energy in your life, this is definitely one of the better choices right now going on in Chinese drama land. Number 4, something that I highly appreciate and pretty much happening right from the beginning, but didn't get to a really interesting point until, like I said earlier in this video, episode 11 and 12 I've just watched, and adding that much of a point of interest for me to keep watching, and also just making it a little bit different, standing out among the other dramas that you can categorize them into the same type. This is a highly domestic period drama. It's focused mostly on all the girls coming from different kingdoms, marrying into this main kingdom's rulers' sons' different families, sister-in-laws stories happening in a traditional huge family. They all come together, 10, 20 sometimes girls just sit together and talk about jokes, complain about each other's husband. And the great thing about this drama's version of the huge family's domestic life is it's 99% happy, light, comedy. And all those women, thank heavens, are not the type of petty fighting women that you see in a lot of those dramas where their life completely circles around the men in their life and everything they do is to get attention from the men, and they sort of are at throat with each other constantly. In this drama, it's completely opposite. Most of the girls got married into these families because they have no choice. So they basically talk shit about their bosses, which are the husbands of theirs, behind their backs together. And they form a really tight bond, friendship, kind of working together against our husbands type of situation. Previously, when I watch a lot of those harem dramas, right, one of the things that I always cannot get out of my head is, isn't there actual real friendship between those women? Since they don't have a choice, and most of the time they live in an environment where they are dealing with other women, not the husband hardly comes. So could it be like they actually become good friends and form a relationship and in a way help and support each other, and the husband becomes the outsider, the girls becomes friends? So this drama actually gives you the version where most of the girls in this drama do not give a shit to their husband, and they so take it as the perspective of one of the main supporting role played by Chen Xiaoyun, where she thinks of herself as an employee serving her husband as the boss. So she totally takes the wage earner, worker, employee's angle, and she actually doesn't love him at all. And everything she does is basically like any person who works under a boss to make the boss happy so that you get paid. That's her attitude of things. And whenever she is acting in ways that she knows she's gonna please her husband, there's OS in the drama. There's actually her internal monologue in the drama where she's like complaining and then actually laughing at the husband. So far, all the girls are more supportive for each other than any of the other big domestic dramas I've seen, and it just gives you such a fresh breath of air situation and so much funnier. Also, in the most recent 11 and 12 episode, because our male lead character Bai Jingting had to marry another woman to be his official wife that he doesn't want, and the other woman actually doesn't want too, and our female lead, who is already a concubine of his, feels very unhappy about the situation, and how they resolve it is really funny. Official wife comes into the picture and straightforwardly told our main lead couple that I don't give a shit, basically, to your husband and marrying the man you like. I don't like him. I am here because, well, my country needs me to be here, so I'm just doing it as a job as well. I'm gonna be a good manager of this household and teach you, female lead character, how to take care of the household. Once your husband gets to a really good position in his life and in the court of his fathers, I'm gonna leave. Let's strike a deal. You're gonna let me go, okay? And I'm gonna make sure by the time I go, your true love of your life is gonna be able to deal with all the shit in the big household. And they did this business collaboration, cooperation plan of things. I'm like, that's just so much more interesting for me as an audience to keep watching than say, the traditional boring thing of the official wife always gives difficulty to the concubines and all the women are just trying to get the attention from their husband. Those are the positive things that are a little bit unusual of this drama, and why I would say if you want to pick a romantic fictional period drama that's mostly happy, positive, light energy among all Chinese dramas right now, this is the best choice you have. In terms of what is not so ideal about the drama, first thing is not really a negative thing, but if you happen to be a person who actually read the original novel and then you go to this so-called adaptation, well, it's a different thing. So for the very small number of people who would actually watch this drama for that reason because they've read the book, they're gonna get disappointed. But for other people, not a problem. Then the other major thing about this drama, basically related to what I've said about its positive things, apart from that, there really isn't so far any other outstandingly interesting point of the story. If you're not interested in what I've said about the unusual things about this drama, then there's nothing else that can really hold you down to the story. And if you completely disregard that particular angle they're taking, just looking at it as a period romantic idolish drama, it is just an okay drama. It is not a masterpiece writing drama. It doesn't have the best pacing there. It doesn't have every line is a golden line situation. Concentration of the plot and characters and clever lines. The moment-to-moment exciting things that are dramatic and making the audiences getting hooked, the concentration is not high enough. It is the type of drama where when you watch it, you wouldn't really complain much, you wouldn't feel you are being insulted here, but then it would be very hard for you to do this to it all the time. If you really like Bai Jingting or Tian Xiwei, that may be able to keep you there, because they're both pretty lovely, adorable, look-wise, line delivery wise, and their character wise. They're both very, very lovely characters. These are the things I can see from the first 12 episodes of the drama 青青日常 New Life Begins. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's a super cute dog. I think it's a Pekingese. That's like the breed name in English. Basically, it's a Chinese native long-hair pug breed that traditionally used to be a royal dog, and that's been bred by the rulers, and they are very adorable. Every time he shows up, my attention completely goes to the puppy. I cannot see any other humans in that shot. I just stare at it and see what it's gonna do. That should conclude this video from Avenue X. As I cannot think of anything similar to it that happened recently, I'll just leave it blank here for YouTube's algorithm to tell you other related videos. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.